The DC Comics cartoons from the 90s and 2000s certainly were impactful, because they have fans both old and new alike. This universe of cartoons, otherwise known as the DC Animated Universe, or the fun acronym DCAU, created many new characters to add in with the originals. Now when I say DCAU, I mean cartoons such as Batman the Animated Series, The New Batman Adventures, Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, The Zeta Project, Static Shock, Justice League Unlimited, and the Flash animated web series Gotham Girls. Many of these original characters fit in so well with the classics. And that's why today I am counting down the top 10 characters original to the DCAU. However, that's something that's really hard to do on my own, so today I will bring in a guest.
Hey everybody, I'm DJ Weird Sister, a longtime DC fan and a good friend of Mr. Top 10. So let's get this started.
Now when we say original, we mean origins 100% in the cartoon.
Never shown up in the comics before, so even though we might think, for example, Virgil Hawkins here is the greatest guy on the planet, all you ladies lining up to kiss him are gonna be disappointed.
Since he was in the comics well before his known series came out. So without further delay, here's the top 10 characters original to the DCAU.
Number 10, Nora Fries.
While she herself didn't do anything during the series due to the fact that she was ill, it's what she represents that got her on this list. She made Mr. Freeze a serious character. In fact, the change in Mr. Freeze's character due to her affected the comics. Unfortunately, I couldn't put Mr. Freeze and his famously revamped backstory on this list due to the fact he wasn't original to the DCAU, but Nora Fries kinda bootlegs him on this list.
It turned him from just ice to meet you into a character we empathized with and the character we remember so well, even if Arnold Schwarzenegger did happen.
Number 9 is the Grey Ghost.
Now, the Grey Ghost is lovely because even though he doesn't do that much, he's a wonderful bit of lore that can just pop up everywhere in the pop culture of the DCAU. And he provides a great look into Batman's backstory, his inspirations, what he was like as a child, what he was interested in. And it makes sense that Batman would have tried to become someone like his noirish childhood hero.
It's also new and kind of adorable to see Batman's eyes light up like he's a young Bruce when he first meets the Grey Ghost in the series. But besides just the versatility of the character, what makes the Grey Ghost so interesting is the fact that his character is voiced by none other than Adam West. It's basically an homage to the 1960s series because 90s Batman is a fan of what is essentially 1960s Batman.
Number 8, Roxy Rocket.
Now, she may have only seemed like a minor character due to the fact she was only in one episode of The New Batman Adventures as just a henchwoman to the Penguin at first, but within her episode she fleshed out and showed that she wasn't inherently evil, but her love of risk drove her motivation for stealing.
Enthralled with the idea of risk, it's a good character type. She's fun to watch.
Now, you could use the fact that she's in the comics to prove how notable she is, but I'm going to use the seldom heard of Game Boy Color game Batman Chaos in Gotham, because she was a mini-boss in that game, aside other characters that have been in the comics for decades, and boom, Roxy. Not only that, but she visited Metropolis to take on Superman himself, and she lost.
Yeah, for a girl whose only ability is flying around, yeah, I think Superman has that covered. Best stick to Gotham, sweetie. But any girl who can Doctor Strangelove her way past Batman is a girl after my own heart.
Number 7 is Aresia, the smart and irrational one. She basically trained with Wonder Woman as an adopted Amazon with all the strength of one. And she has a master plan, taking what she learned to the extreme.
She unites a bunch of other rogues, Solomon Grundy, Star Sapphire, oh look Copperhead, oh who's so useless, yes you are. Now, her big plan is to rid the world of men by killing them all off, which, girl, do you know how reproduction works? Not gonna work out for you.
But hey, I can add her to the list of people who were handily able to take on Superman. Sure, she needed help with that virus that only affected men, but I think I'm analyzing this a little too much.
Number 6, Livewire. Now, Livewire is a shock jock from Metropolis who, while Superman was standing around being useless one day, got hit by lightning and got awesome electricity powers. She can turn into lightning, siphon it off from anything, and take over the airwaves, like any good DJ always wanted to do. Now, her origin as a shock jock's a bit 90s, but a sassy girl who just does what she wants and does not take any crap from anybody, that's timeless.
While I know you like her, she did kinda destroy a lot of things with her powers right away without even testing them, but she does have some moxie to both invade Gotham and befriend the locals. Number 5 is Volcano.
Now, she's only so high on this list because Mr. Top 10 here thinks she is hot.
Because she uses fire! Anyway!
You know what I mean, big boy.
Puns aside, her premiere episode in the Superman animated series was one of my favorite of the series. She has one of those I'm only evil because of my backstory stories. Her parents basically gave her away to some government program that trained her to become a living weapon, and she was all angry about it, so she turned to a life of crime when she escaped. And then the guys that won her as a living weapon came back, and Superman resolved it, and everything was all happy at the end. She doesn't get sent to jail, and in fact, she looks like she'll become a love interest of Superman, which is short-lived.
It wasn't gonna happen. Her initials aren't LL.
And after that, she just appeared as a normal rogue with fire powers when she appeared in the Justice League.
Bit disappointing, really.
She could have been useful to the League with her extraordinary fire powers. That is, if you ignore the fact that she basically becomes useless against anything fire is extinguished against, such as fire extinguishers, water, probably a small gust of wind, and, oh yeah, lack of air.
Though, to be fair, I think that's a weakness for most people. Number 4, Mercy Graves. Man, I'd have picked her on the name alone.
Her initial role was kinda minor because she just kinda stood next to Lex Luthor as his bodyguard, but she did know multiple forms of martial arts and she can drive. However, she went up in the rankings quite a lot because once Lex Luthor kinda went all crazy evil villain-like, she took over LexCorp. And in current day, she apparently has a gun for an arm now in Young Justice. What happened to lugging this around? I ask you that, Miss Graves. Number 3 is Renee Montoya.
Now, Renee Montoya is great because she started out as just some filler character, the competent cop to Bullock's buffoonery. But throughout the series, she got more and more characterization and started to spread into other media, even being one of the main characters in the little-known Gotham Central comic book series.
Here, give me that resume of her work. Took over for The Question, dated Batwoman. Wow, she came far for just a character that started off in the cartoons.
Number 2, Batman himself, Terry McGinnis.
Now, Terry answers the question, what do we do when Bruce Wayne gets old? I know it's something we don't want to think about.
But Batman, or Bruce, stays true to form and takes in another troubled, dark-haired teen, as we all know he's so fond of doing.
What I like about Terry is he's his own character. He's not just another carbon copy of Batman. He's serious about the job, but not in the same way. He still wants to go around, be a teenager, has a girlfriend, and even will talk back to Bruce when Bruce tries to push his own ideas on Terry. Not to mention, he's younger than Bruce was in the original series.
And Terry is Batman in his own unique, somewhat sassier way than Bruce. Now, I'm not gonna divulge any spoilers, but there is a scene at the end of Return of the Joker where Terry really proves to the Joker that, despite not being Bruce Wayne, he truly is the Batman.
Now, those of you familiar with the DCAU might know who number 1 is.
The Condiment King?
Yes, of course, the ever-famous Condiment King. No, it's Harley Quinn.
Obviously, Harley Quinn went from being a one-off Joker hench girl to being one of the most recognizable faces and voices in the entire DC universe.
While many seem to associate her only with the Joker, she developed a lot in the series, going off on her own and forming friendships with other villains, most notably Poison Ivy.
Her team-ups with Poison Ivy, let me tell you, legendary. Harley's performance also added a surprising element of seriousness to the DCAU, because her relationship with the Joker is a surprisingly accurate portrayal of victims of domestic violence. Yet, it is Harley's cheerfulness and innocence that persists despite everything, and even when she is cheerfully and innocently beating a man's face in with her mallet, that makes her such a compelling, interesting, memorable character.
Anyway, that's why we think Harley Quinn is the DCAU's best original character.
Leave a note in the comments if you have a different opinion or want to weigh in on what your favorite DCAU original characters are.
Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time. We here just want to credit those who could not make it on the list due to our 10 limit, such as Warhawk, Luminous, Ink, Sue... What are you doing?
I'm making this face right now.
You know, that'll make for a good outro. Good night, everyone.